A Lincoln man was killed this week in a one-car accident near Talladega.
It's not too late to weigh in on developing a statewide trail system, and a local petting zoo has added a baby sloth and a young toucan to its popular menagerie. We'll have these stories and more coming up.
A spectacular weekend weather-wise coming up across East Alabama for Easter. We will have the complete forecast coming up.
Coming up in sports, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles won a big baseball series. We also preview the weekend ahead as EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
A 40-year-old Lincoln man died Wednesday from injuries sustained in a single vehicle crash, according to Alabama State Police. Jeremy L. Taylor was driving his car when it left the road, overturned, and struck several trees. He was not wearing his seatbelt and he was ejected from the vehicle. Taylor was pronounced dead at the scene of the accident. A state trooper report says the crash occurred on Alabama 34 near Grove Access Road. That's approximately 2 miles from Talladega.
The Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce is asking area residents to participate in a survey offered by Sweet Alabama Trails, an initiative developed to help plan a trail system that will reach all corners of the state. The survey, displayed on the popular survey website SurveyMonkey, only takes about 10 minutes to complete, and it gives participants a chance to offer specific suggestions for development in their own communities. Sweet Trails Alabama says it will build on local and regional trail initiatives to identify an overall statewide trail network focused on connecting Alabama's unique destinations and population centers. East Alabama is already home to several different kinds of trails, such as the Pinhoti Hiking Trail, the Coldwater Mountain Bike Trail, the Chief Talladega Trail, and the Alabama Scenic River Trail. Sweet Alabama Trails wants to link projects like these to a larger statewide trail system. According to their website, a final plan should be in place by June. For more information about the project and for a link to the survey, visit the Sweet Alabama Trails or the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce on Facebook.
And when we come back, what could be cuter than baby animals clinging to their mothers?
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
The petting zoo at Noccalula Falls in Gadsden has long been one of the most popular features at that city park, attracting hundreds of people each day to have close personal encounters with all sorts of animals. Zoo director Cindy Jones says that a baby sloth was born at the zoo recently. It's already proven to be a crowd favorite. The mother sloth was acquired by the zoo last year, and she's already proven that her species deserves its reputation for being slow.
Gestation period is 11 and a half months for sloths. Generally, they'll have a baby about every other year because they carry him so long. This girl right here is 5 years old and he is 4 years old. The baby's about 3 weeks. We like to keep it on the mama for a little while, get enough colostrum and all the nutrients it needs before we actually pull it. Eventually we'll have it out for adventures, hopefully for sloth adventures within the next couple weeks.
Joan says that she's not going to be in a hurry to let the newborn sloth start interacting with visitors, but even inside an enclosure, the sloth family attracts lots of attention while a new habitat is being constructed for them nearby.
We're going to get her out for a couple hours and then try to put the baby back with the mama. If not, we can end up, she's been on the nursing the mother enough now that if she has to be pulled and we had to bottle feed it, that won't be an issue either.
The zoo's other new attraction is a female toucan, who was introduced to her new habitat today. Within just a few minutes, she was sunning herself on a log and seemed perfectly at home with the dozens of visitors gathered around her. Jones says the zoo plans to have a naming contest for the new bird, similar to the one that it had for its new pair of kangaroos last year. And she expects to let the public decide on the names of the 3 sloths on display as well.
Kingdom Living Ministries, which has relocated to the former Lutheran Church at 11th and Quintard in Anniston, will be providing a free Easter meal on Saturday to Anniston's homeless population. Pastor Dietrich Gooden talked with EAN about the group's plans.
Well, what we have planned is from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11, we're going to be feeding the homeless some warm meals. And also we'll be giving them some personal items that they would need throughout the day, like a care package. We partner with Grace and Mercy Feeding Ministries, and they will be working out of the cafeteria here at Kingdom Living Ministries from here on out.
Gooden says the two groups are expecting to feed anywhere from 75 to 125 individuals on Saturday. While he says they do have an adequate supply of food and personal items to give away, more volunteers are still needed to help with the program. He says his ministry hopes to offer a meal to the homeless once a month to start with, and then increase the frequency of those meals when they are able.
One of the main priorities that the homeless need is information, wisdom, and knowledge, because they're in a mindset that life has introduced to them. So the only way they're going to change and live a better life or fulfilled life is we got to open up the doors to those that are willing to come in and pour into them some knowledge that they're missing that would change their life altogether.
Gooden says people who want to help this mission can contact him at 256-499-1239.
And when we come back, a big Easter egg hunt is being planned for the local botanical garden.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Longleaf Botanical Gardens will have its annual Eggstravaganza egg hunt and live animal presentation this Saturday morning. Children and their parents will meet live animal ambassadors, learn to identify which bird laid which egg, and then hunt for eggs around the garden. That program will run from 10:30 a.m. until noon. Admission is $10 per child, and adults are admitted for free.
Well, we couldn't ask for better weather than what seems to be coming for Easter weekend.
It certainly does. We have, of course, the Saturday programs, the Sunday programs, but we need to get the official word from John Holder.
I agree. John Holder joins us now in the EAN Weather Center to tell us all about what we can expect for the weekend. John?
Mike and Katie, we have a great weekend coming up for Easter weather-wise, but we've got some storms on the horizon. We'll break down the forecast for the next 7 days coming up next.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are in the middle of a fine stretch of weather across East Alabama today. We had plenty of sunshine, 72 for the high. That doubled up our morning low. We started off this morning on the chilly side at 36 degrees. The record high temperature 86, the record low at 28. We're about where we should be for this time of year as far as daytime highs and nighttime lows, but that is about to change. We're going upwards with the temperatures for the next several days. Sun rising tomorrow at 6:33 and the sun setting tonight at 7:02. Weather on your street on this Good Friday night. On Railroad Drive in Alexandria, right there by Alexandria High School. A few clouds tonight, but I don't think anyone's going to complain. We'll cool off to around 45 overnight tonight, but a very pleasant evening in the Alexandria Valley and all across East Alabama. Your Saturday of Easter weekend could not be much better, folks. Air Depot Road in Glencoe, sunny and warm tomorrow, 77 for the high. Just a spectacular spring Saturday coming up. And as we look ahead to next week, for the most part, everything is going to be okay weather-wise across East Alabama. Steinberg Road in Piedmont, though, get ready. There's going to be one day of storms coming up next week. Temperatures are going to drop after those storms. Before the storms, early in the week, we will be in the 80s. After those storms pass here on Tuesday, we will drop back to the 60s for highs, but it's just one day of storms that we're about to talk about now in our 7-day forecast. That 7-day forecast for all of East Alabama shows those warm temperatures, 81 on Easter Sunday afternoon. No chance of rain in the forecast. If you're going to Easter sunrise services, perhaps, very pleasant on Easter morning, 53 degrees around sunrise time. Monday, 82 for the high. Again, no chance of rain. Look at that nighttime low, 62 degrees. We continue with the warmth. Only 65 for the low when you wake up on Tuesday. But by Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night, we're going to be dealing with showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be on the severe side. 50% chance of those showers, 80 for the high. And then you see the cool down that we talked about. Temperatures back below the average for this time of year. But again, nothing that's going to be what we would call cold. Temperatures in the 60s, back to 70 again by next Friday. Nighttime lows dropping back into the 40s again by the latter half of next week. Yesterday, we showed you a graphic from the Storm Prediction Center talking about the chance for severe weather in here on Tuesday. They keep the chance at 15%. The change is they have extended that now into our area here in East Alabama. We are now in that. Yesterday, we're up in the northern quarter of the state of Alabama. Now about the northern, say 40% of the state is going to be under this risk for severe weather. That does include all of Calhoun and Cleburne and Etowah counties in that slight risk for severe weather coming up on Tuesday. We'll be watching that closely for you throughout the weekend. I'll be back here tomorrow morning with your Saturday morning day at a glance. I'll also be back here on Easter morning. We'll give you that sunrise forecast, and I'll be back on Monday morning again to look at your morning forecast for all of East Alabama. And I'll be back here Monday to talk about those severe storms on EAN Local News on Monday evening. Right now in sports, high school baseball, big matchup between Jacksonville and Cleburne County, and Namath Pitts has all the details right now in sports. Namath?
Thanks, John. The Class 4A Area 9 championship the past couple years has featured the Jacksonville Golden Eagles and the Cleburne County Tigers. Well, they met once again yesterday for what could be the deciding factor for this season. It was all Jacksonville Golden Eagles yesterday as Zay Lemon collected 4 hits and 4 at-bats as Jacksonville defeated Cleburne County 11-3. Zay Lemon singled in the first inning, singled in the 4th inning, singled in the 5th inning, and singled in the 3rd inning. Jacksonville opened up the scoring in the bottom of the 1st thanks to 2 singles as they jumped out on Cleburne County 2-0. Will Greenwood earned the win for Jacksonville on the mound. The starting pitcher allowed 4 hits and 2 runs over 4 innings, striking out 6 and walking 3. Nolan Wright took the loss for Cleburne County. They went 3 2/3 innings, surrendering 8 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits, striking out 4 and walking 2. Cole Guthrie threw 1 inning of 0-run ball for Jacksonville in relief. They allowed 1 hit, striking out 2 and walking none. Jacksonville collected 11 hits in the game. Jackson Bonner drove the middle of the lineup, leading the Golden Eagles with 4 runs batted in. The first baseman went 2 for 3 on the day. Gavin Peeler and his younger brother Kingston Peeler each collected multiple hits for Jacksonville. Zay Lemon also stole 3 bases as Jacksonville took care of business against Cleburne County And for Cleveland County, Hunter Gore, Matthew Wilson, and Nate Adams each drove in 1 run. Cannon Robertson led Cleveland County with 3 hits and 3 at-bats as Jacksonville got the win over Cleveland County. The MVP, the most valuable player of yesterday's game in the series, in my opinion, was Zay Lemon. He went 4 for 4 yesterday. He went 7 for 8 in the series. Here's Coach Jamison Edwards talking about Zay Lemon and what he means to his team.
Zay had a great series. I think maybe he was like 7 of 8 for this series, had a bunch of RBIs. But, you know, at the beginning of the season, we wasn't real sure that he was going to make it into the lineup. And the thing about it was he just kept showing up and he kept working and he kept working and he kept working. And we tell these guys, you know, they have the misconception that coaches decide who plays. But he's a really great example of, you know, the player's the one that decides if he needs to be out there. And the way he approached things, the way that he worked, and then when he got his opportunity, he took advantage of it, and I'm not sure that he's looked back since.
Cleveland County takes a 2-0 lead in Class 4A Area 9 as they stare down White Plains and Anniston in the future. Hey, there's only one baseball game taking place this weekend featuring an East Alabama team, so let's go ahead and take a look at that game for the weekend. This game will be tomorrow at Noccalula Park, and it will feature the Faith Christian Lions, Coach Joshua's Ray team, as they will go head-to-head with Chilton County. This is part of the Spring Break Experience Tournament that is wrapping up tomorrow at Noccalula Park. Again, Faith Christian in action tomorrow against Chilton County. There's a couple softball games tomorrow at Noccalula Park as softball action got ramped up starting today at Noccalula Park, continues into tomorrow. So let's take a look at the action for tomorrow. Features Oxford. That's right, they're going to be playing at Noccalula Park tomorrow at their home turf as they will go head-to-head with Plainview. So the Oxford Yellow Jackets not playing just 1 but 2 games, but their first game will be against the Bears of Plainview. Their second game tomorrow will be against the Hamilton Aggies. Now Hamilton is about as far over as you can get before getting into Mississippi, and they're going to make at least a 3-hour trip to Oxford. Again, if you're wondering why all these teams come to Oxford, it's because that's where the state championship is held. So teams like Plainview, Hamilton want to get, you know, adjusted to the field because they believe they'll be playing there later on this season. Now White Plains is in action at Noccalula Park tomorrow, and Coach Munter's team is going to play Class 7A Oak Mountain. They're going to play the Eagles of Oak Mountain. Again, this is 4A versus 7A. Coach Munter's team pushing themselves against Oak Mountain, but they're actually going to play 3 games at Noccalula Park tomorrow. They're going to play Oak Mountain, then their second game is going to be against Asheville, and then their third game is going to be against Beauregard. Now, Beauregard's been one of the top teams for a couple of years now. They're down in that area with Beauregard, Dadeville, Beulah. Really good softball in that area. So for White Plains, Coach Munter, you're going to get Oak Mountain, Asheville, and Beauregard. And all of those games, again, are tomorrow at Noccalula Park in what could be a preview of the state tournament later this season. That's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for that update, Namath, and thank you for watching us today.
You can find us here online every weekday on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or our website. Just go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather content whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll leave you tonight with more video from the Noccalula Falls Petting Zoo and its new couple of kangaroos, Chief and Lula. We hope you have a great Easter weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday for your news on your schedule.